Welcome back to our 2-Minute Tuesdays with Trish and Pastor Dave.
2-minute toot.
All right, Lawrence. Oh boy.
Lawrence, huh? Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Lutherans say Martin Luther is the guide for faith, but didn't Luther say some pretty bad things? Do you follow all the things he said, really? If not, why not? And what does that say about your faith? Lawrence, that's hard.
Yeah, how'd you type that with your arms folded like that? That's
no
pretty
joke.
good trick.
All right, here
so,
we go.
Start your clock, because Lutherans do indeed say that Martin Luther is, as you say, a guide for faith, but maybe not quite like you think. Martin Luther, although we forget this sometimes, we go, yay, Martin Luther, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can, which is precisely the point, because Martin Luther himself said, no one is saved by their own works, or by extension, as we've talked about, probably their own beliefs or their own person. We're not saved because we're so good. We are saved only because we are beloved. And Martin Luther actually had a way overdeveloped sense of his own flaws, which plagued him all the time. And I'm not saying that that's good, but he would probably have been the last one to say, I'm the guide and I'm saved because I'm Martin Luther, dang it. He would have said, God loves me and I am called to do this because of God's love, and that's it. So in that way, we, I think, regard Martin Luther as a guide. But it's the exact kind of guide who says, it's not me, it's God. And it's not just me, it's also us. So understanding that, we now understand how imperfect you and imperfect me, well, practically perfect you and imperfect me, can be people of faith and also leaders in the church, and also have a voice that matters in the world, not because we're so great, but because we also are beloved. And in that way, we all kind of become Martin Lutheran, not just, Lutheran in that we're the greatest and we're right and you're all wrong. So you're right, Martin Luther said some problematic things. You're right, I absolutely admit that, and I hope most Lutherans would, but it's not just the things that Martin Luther said perfectly that guide us, it's the love and spirit that were shown through his words that were part right and part wrong, like all of us are, but God works through part right and part wrong to show grace to the world.
All right. We do accept really hard questions, so thank you.
Lawrence, well done. And fair. People of faith not only should be challenged more, but should be able to understand that challenge and acknowledge it. And you're right, it's not just Martin Luther, it's all of us of faith. Some very horrible things have been said and done and continue to be said and done in the name of God, in the name of faith. And you know what? It's okay to admit that and say, you know what? I'm sorry, and that is wrong.
All right. Well, if you have your own really difficult, hard questions,
or an easy one, you can give an easy
whatever.
one. That's all right.
We accept all.
Dave, how did you get so good looking? Well, let me tell you. Anyway.
All right, we will. Oh my gosh, I was about to close the video.
Well, you Light of the Spirit .church.
Yeah. And a Twitter.
At Dave Deckard.
And an email.
Pastor at sov-id.org.
We did it.
Yay!
All right, we will see you next week for our next video. Bye.